Right now, 5, we have live team coverage after mid-December storms caused destruction and knocked out power to several North Texas communities. The city of Grapevine among those hit the hardest.
As soon as I opened the door, I saw the tornado literally passing by next to me.
We're also seeing extensive damage near Decatur in Wise County and getting word of a confirmed tornado there. Cleanup also underway in Collin County tonight. Amazingly, no reports of any serious injuries.
You're watching NBC 5 News at 5.
Thanks for joining us at 5 o'clock. I'm Meredith Land. A lot to get to tonight after a severe weather outbreak in North Texas earlier. We have crews scattered across DFW right now, but we want to start off our team coverage with NBC 5's Brian Curtis, who is field anchoring in Grapevine. Brian, tell us what it's like where you are.
Well, Meredith, let me set the scene for you. We are here along Northwest Highway at North Dove Road in Grapevine, as you mentioned. This is what is left of a car wash. You can see the brick walls just blown apart here, and the roof is torn off. You can also see a damaged phone pole and downed power lines. Now, this fast-moving storm, it knocked out power to thousands of people. It destroyed some homes and businesses, and now the painstaking process of cleaning up is just beginning. Let's show you some of the incredible videos that were sent to us this morning. Kyle Williamson shared this video of an apparent tornado along Highway 114 here in Grapevine. You can see cars stopped in the heavy rain, waiting for the storm to pass. Another video was sent to us from a viewer who was at Baylor Scott and White Hospital, also here in Grapevine. It shows bright flashes of light and debris swirling outside the parking garage. And here is a closer look at some of the damage at area businesses. Power lines are down, and there is lots of mangled metal. We spoke to some workers at a pharmacy and a waffle shop about what they saw.
Started seeing all the wind and the rain. Couldn't see much past the windows, and then you could just hear it, and it was going really hard. I could see the windows just kind of warp and shake. Luckily, they're security windows, so they held up a little bit better than normal windows. And then as soon as all that cleared, I just kind of walked out and saw that, and I was like, yeah.
I looked outside and I saw that like whirl, like the wind, and it was just crazy. It looked like a sideways surfing, like a sideways wave, and yeah, it only lasted about 20 seconds, but it was still a lot. And I think we were all freaked out for a minute.
Grapevine police say 5 people were hurt, but all of them are expected to be okay. Police also tell us the wreck is open to anyone who temporarily lost power. That will remain a safe place for people to stay until it closes at 10 o'clock tonight. My colleague Katie Blakey is also here in Grapevine tonight. Katie, I know you have been out here all day. What have you seen?
Well, Brian, I can tell you right now, city leaders say this scene behind me is the most pressing issue in the city. Working to repair these power lines, get the roads back open, and get the lights back on. Right now, about 3,700 people here in Grapevine remain without power.
From toppled businesses to mangled roofs, signs of an intense morning storm.
Then the TV went out and power was flickering, and I thought, okay, it's getting kind of bad. And the wind and rain was going sideways.
The tornado-warned storm skipped across Grapevine, causing pockets of damage and injuring 5 people.
Even though we have a lot of damage, we're glad that there weren't more people hurt.
Powerful winds peeled back the roof of the city's service center, trapping large sheets of metal in the power lines. Just down the street, Grapevine Middle School had to be evacuated after the storm damaged the roof and knocked out power. Thankfully, students and staff were all okay.
It's really crazy, especially over here. The neighborhood is just destroyed. A lot of trees down, and I'm just concerned about my neighbors.
Grapevine is very resilient. We're a great, strong neighborhood. We help each other out. And I think anyone who sees a need in the coming days and weeks, especially leading up to Christmas, if they need help, we're going to jump in and help them.
Once the skies cleared, city crews went to work clearing debris as everyone else stopped to take it all in.
It's interesting. Like I said, a lot of the storms, a lot of times miss Grapevine, but this one seems to have found us.
Yeah, Yeah, just these pockets of damage all across the city. We should point out that city leaders are really urging people to go online and fill out a damage assessment. That'll help them know what the true need here is in the community. Also, the National Weather Service will send their teams out tomorrow to survey this damage so they can get an idea on the intensity, the strength of the storm that roared through this morning. We're live in Grapevine. Katie Blakey, NBC 5.
Thank you, Katie. And you can hear crews working on the situation here in Grapevine over there. Texas Sky Ranger is showing us some of the damage at the Sam's Club here in Grapevine. A viewer named Robbie sent us these pictures from inside the store. You can see the power is out and there's stuff strewn about everywhere. It is a real mess inside there. Grapevine Mills Mall also had some damage. Take a look here as we zoom in where that yellow circle is. It appears a whole chunk of the side wall came off there at Grapevine Mills. Now we want to show you some drone video from outside Decatur. That is in Wise County, just northwest of Fort Worth. You can see roofs ripped off and debris scattered about. The National Weather Service has just confirmed that was an EF2 tornado that hit there. Ken Kaltoff is covering that part of the story for us. He joins us live from Wise County. Ken?
Brian, the power and the selective damage of a storm like this is just amazing. 6 people were inside this home when the roof blew off. At the same time, another neighbor whose home was mostly untouched shot cell phone video of the passing storm.
As soon as I opened the door, I saw the tornado literally passing by next to me.
Michael Lopez grabbed his cell phone to record what he witnessed as the tremendous wind blew around his home. His video shows what looks like a tornado swirling amid the flashes of lightning.
I saw the tornado heading away from me. I saw all the power lines exploding and everything.
Once it passed, he went to check on neighbors.
We had gotten an alert on my phone that there was a tornado warning, but I didn't know it was here, like at our locations.
Isela Gonzalez says she was in the bathroom about to take a shower to take her kids to school when the roof disappeared and the home splintered around them.
And then I heard all the glass shattered, and then I just grabbed a hold of whatever I could in the restroom just to, hold on to it.
Her 3 children, her mom, and a sister were all inside, and they all survived. But their home is wrecked. The contents scattered all around.
Everybody's been so nice and brought us food and clothes. Her closet got destroyed, so they're bringing clothes for her.
A bigger house nearby received heavy damage. Michael Lopez says that family wants privacy, but they also survived.
No one was hurt, no one was injured. Everything is okay.
We're so lucky to be alive because this could have been a lot worse.
Best we know, there are no serious injuries today in Wise County. And another piece of luck, this family recently arranged insurance. Work is already underway here at this very damaged house. And this family expects to have a hotel roof over their heads tonight. Reporting live in Wise County, Ken Kaltoff, NBC 5.
And we have found silver linings in this. Thank you, Ken. There have also been reports of damage in Collin County, things like roofs torn off and walls blown down. You can see people here boarding up windows in the community of Blue Ridge. To help you get your bearings here, here is a map of Blue Ridge, north of Plano. Maria Guerrero has been there all day. She will join us live coming up at 6 o'clock. Meredith, the damage stretches across a wide swath of North Texas, but like so many storms, this has been somewhat random. You see scenes like this over my shoulder, and then just a few blocks away, you might not know that anything had happened. But for those people who were hit, this has been a very tough day. For now, I'll send it back to you in the studio.
All right, Brian, thank you. That's the way it happens, right? I'm
Absolutely.
Standing here with Rick Mitchell in the Weather Center. It can be so random.
Sure,
and that's the way it is.
You think about tornadoes, even on a day like today where we maybe have as many as 12.
Right.
They're still extremely isolated because they're a very narrow area. But, man, if you're in that area, our heart goes out to you. Here's kind of a preliminary map of the tornadoes where we had the most action through the day. It started way down here in Eastland County. Then the storms moved on in and moved to the east. This storm in Wise County near Decatur, as we said, was EF2, winds of 125 miles per hour. That's the only storm that has been classified officially, but there have been numerous ones. Hood County, also Parker County, a few in Tarrant County, perhaps even on into southern Denton County, and then Collin County. And again, we'll likely see more of those as we go through, as they do more studying. The thunderstorms continue to move across East Texas. Our weather pattern is going to be much quieter, but it's going to be much cooler and eventually perhaps much colder. More on that when I come back.
We'll see you then. And our team of Texas weather experts works around the clock to keep you and your family safe. Download our free NBC DFW app to get instant alerts right to your phone. And be sure to send us your weather pictures and videos. Much more ahead at 5, including live coverage from today's murder trial involving an ex-Fort Worth police officer. Plus what we are learning about a small plane crash in Carrollton. And remembering longtime football coach Mike Leach. A look back at his life and legacy. But first, here's what's coming up on NBC Nightly News at 5:30.
Right now, new signs inflation's bite is beginning to soften, but we'll hear from consumers still proceeding with caution this holiday. Also, the U.S. airline placing a multi-billion-dollar bet on air travel demand, ordering hundreds of new jets when we see you tonight.
Welcome back. You're looking live at DFW Airport. Hundreds of flights were delayed or canceled there and at Love Field because of severe weather earlier today. Check your flight status if you plan on heading out today. Rick joins us with the full forecast in just a few minutes. The case of a former Fort Worth police officer is set to go to the jury tomorrow. Today, it was a battle of law enforcement experts testifying about police training. Dean is accused of murdering Tatiana Jefferson 3 years ago after a neighbor reported an open door at the house. Scott Gordon is live at the Tarrant County Courthouse to recap today's courtroom action. Scott?
Well, Meredith, those two experts gave two very different accounts of how police are trained and about whether Dean's actions that night were reasonable. Now, the defense expert testified Dean followed basic police training when he went into Jefferson's backyard quietly to investigate. He never announced himself, which the witness says is routine when police investigate an open door. But the prosecution expert says Dean never should have even gone into the backyard, leaving the front door unguarded and creating the exact scenario that led him to shoot Jefferson.
This isn't a race. We're not getting paid by the hour. I don't know why we need to rush through this, why we're not just taking our time. Like, I go back to, and I keep harping on this, I don't really understand why they left that front door. They'd back off and call for some assistance or knock and announce. Those are your two best choices at that point.
Closing arguments are set for tomorrow morning, and then it'll be up to the jury to decide whether Aaron Dean is guilty of murder. Live at the Tarrant County Courthouse, Scott Gordon, NBC 5.
All right, Scott, thank you. The NTSB is investigating a small plane crash in Carrollton. It happened on East Hebron Parkway around 9 o'clock last night. The FAA says the single-engine plane left from the Abilene airport and crashed as it approached the Addison airport. 2 people are on board. Witnesses tell us a bystander pulled them to safety, and at last check, they were in stable condition. No one else was hurt. Tonight, the sports world is mourning the loss of football coach Mike Leach. The 61-year-old died last night at a hospital in Jackson, Mississippi, following complications from a heart condition. He was named Mississippi State's head football coach in January of 2020. And for many here in Texas, he'll be remembered for taking the Texas Tech football program to new heights and for his colorful interviews.
You don't want to be dismissed, do you? This is pretty good. I mean, that's about as good as it gets, you know?
There will be some people inconvenienced, and if it happens to be their fat little girlfriends, too bad.
Coach Leach leaves behind his wife Sharon and their 4 children, and you can look back at some of Coach Leach's best interview moments on our website. Just go to NBCDFW.com. Turning back to our weather now, I want to show you some of the other viewer videos from earlier today. This is from Naval Air Station Joint Reserve Base Fort Worth. And thanks to Lisa for sending us this ominous image of a possible tornado in River Oaks. And here is a look at North Richland Hills. A lot of wild weather across Tarrant County and beyond today, Rick.
No doubt, Meredith. You know, if we end up with 12 tornadoes, which is possible.
You think?
The last time we had 12 tornadoes in December in an event was, remember back in 2015,
Yeah.
the day after Christmas?
That's right.
And one of those ended up being an EF4. We're not going to have that.
And it was oddly warm.
It was
remember?
very warm, right ahead of that.
Yeah.
But again, when the conditions are there, beware. Ignore the calendar, because you can have stuff. You can have days like today. I'm so grateful that it's ending quieter. The sun is going down, reflecting off the Trinity River. It's still very mild. It's 65 degrees. Humidity is quite low, so temperatures are going to be dropping tonight. The humidity that we had earlier in the day, helping to support those thunderstorms, has moved on out. Now, we may see a redevelopment of a few showers overnight, but I don't expect that to be anything severe, nothing like what we had this morning. Overall, a much cooler weather pattern. Temperatures actually, hey, maybe even below normal, turning even chillier next week. And then as we go into the following weekend, you know, that's Christmas weekend, man, I could see it being just downright cold. So we'll watch it. Something to keep an eye on. Santa might be happy with that. There's the thunderstorms moving on out. Still some tornado warnings. Far East Texas and Louisiana got a severe thunderstorm warning here in Arkansas. But our weather is clearing on out. This is all part of a big old system. Some people in parts of northeast Colorado have had like 1 to 2 feet of snow, heavy snow. That's the cold side. That's where you got the blizzard warnings and the winter storm warnings. Of course, we dealt with the warm side, which meant thunderstorms. And as Futurecast shows us, they move away. They're 7 o'clock tonight. Look at what happens overnight. Clouds thicken up. And in come the potential for some more showers. Again, nothing severe. That's about 4 o'clock in the morning. So it wouldn't surprise me if we wake up to maybe some damp streets or even a few showers for the morning drive. Heavier rain to the east. But it moves out quickly. That's lunchtime. We're all going to be in the sunshine at that point. It'll be a nice sunny afternoon, but it's going to be cooler than what we had today. Temperatures tonight falling back into the 40s to right around 50. Highs tomorrow ranging throughout the 50s. Low 50s to the north, mid 50s to upper 50s, DFW and points south, and then lower 50s on Thursday. So it will get cooler as the week goes on. This is the temperature outlook. December 21st through the 27th. The brighter this blue and purple becomes, the more confidence there is that temperatures will be below normal. And this is what I see leading into Christmas and through the Christmas holiday. Doesn't mean we're going to have snow or ice, but it just means that, boy, the temperatures are going to be awfully low. Stay tuned to see if we have any snow or ice. Tonight, becoming mostly cloudy late, some showers developing. Those should move out fairly early in the day tomorrow. Otherwise, a fair amount of sunshine returning. A high of 58. That is normal for this time of year. Then only 53 Thursday, 50 Friday, Saturday, mid-50s Sunday. I don't see much of a rain chance, maybe a little bit on Monday of next week. Look at as we go through next week, though. Highs in the 40s. And eventually, at the end of the 10-day forecast, Meredith, leading into Christmas weekend, highs in the 30s.
How about that?
Maybe some showers around. We'll see.
What a day for you, by the way.
At least things are settling down.
No kidding. You were on at like 7:45 this morning, right?
Yeah, but I had great help. I had Samantha in here. I had Adrian. And
you guys did an
all
awesome
the crew
job.
That were out there in the field. So we did it. We were happy. I was happy.
Solid job.
Thank you.
Kept us safe. Thank you so much. All right, coming up next, lawmakers unveil a new bipartisan bill that would ban the popular app TikTok. We'll tell you why. Back in a moment. Another day of gains for stocks after a new report from the Labor Department showed inflation is slowing in the U.S. The Dow and NASDAQ each added more than 100 points. S&P up almost 30 points. Within the last couple of hours, President Biden signed the Respect for Marriage bill into law.
The road to this moment has been long, but those who believe in equality and justice, you never gave up.
The bipartisan legislation they're passing by both chambers of Congress requires states to recognize same-sex and interracial marriages and guarantees federal benefits to those couples. Lawmakers just unveiled a bipartisan bill to ban TikTok in the United States. This comes after years of concern across the Trump and Biden administrations about potential Chinese government influence on the company. TikTok has insisted that U.S. user data is safely stored outside of China and out of reach of government officials. Well, just days ago, Governor Abbott ordered all Texas state agencies to ban the use of TikTok on any government-issued devices. When we come right back, one last check of the forecast and a look at the major stories you'll see on NBC Nightly News at 5:30. Stay with us.
It's still a fairly mild evening out there. Promises to be a decent one. 65 degrees currently. By 8 p.m., that temperature down to 57. It will be cooling off. Tomorrow will be noticeably cooler. Maybe a stray shower in the morning, but then sunshine. 58 the high. Notice it gets cooler Thursday, 53. Even chillier on Friday with a high of 50. Kind of cold 10-day forecast coming up at 6 p.m. Meredith?
We'll see you then. Thank you. And our live team coverage on today's wild weather continues on NBC 5 News at 6. So be sure to stick around for that. More on the widespread damage and the power outages tonight at 6. Next on NBC Nightly News, a stunning fall from grace. Once hailed the king of crypto, the founder and CEO of the FTX exchange faces 8 criminal charges for defrauding investors. And a record deal to buy commercial airliners in the U.S. Hear from the CEO of United about his investment in the future of travel. Plus, comedian Jay Leno speaks out for the first time since his accident that left him severely burned. NBC Nightly News starts now.